Okay, so we have another question here to finish up with from the chat from Mr. AfricTube. Interesting username.
Okay.
Anyways, stage 3 talks about immersing with a language parent. And so should we do free flow since YouTube subs aren't accurate? Or is there a good way to interact with your language parent? In my experience, a language parent is supposed to be used without subs. When you're just vibing with their words, you're trying to figure out their patterns of speech, understanding most things, and just listening. So I wouldn't say that you should be doing a language parent if you need subs. And it's better to focus on being able to listen and pick up regionalisms or their own idiolect, whatever the personal dialect is, like that sort of thing. I think is more important for a language parent than like learning new vocab, for example.
Yeah, I found that I haven't done language parenting in a long time. I actually should probably try that again. But I tried to use Luisito Comunica back in the day.
Weird choice.
His podcast is what I was trying to use.
Oh, is that
not
old?
like his?
Or is he a new one now?
I don't know, but this was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I guess what I found is that when I tried to say what he said, I realized that I didn't know all of the filler words that were going on. And so that's why the only reason that having the accurate subtitles is helpful, because sometimes they will say something, and this is something that happens in your native language too, where you'll say something and someone will be like, what? And then you'll slow down and say it word by word. And in reality, when you said it the first time, you missed a whole bunch of words. And so there is this question of like, should you try to imitate the person the way that they said it? Even though technically what they're actually saying is something that is bigger or there are more pieces to it. Or should you try and imitate the full version, or should you have an understanding of both of them? And so, at least at the time, I was struggling to deal with that mismatch between what they were actually saying versus what the full version would have been. Hi, Kitty. And so it can be helpful to have the actual subtitles for that purpose. But yes, as Ben said, generally you just want to be listening to what they're saying and basically imitating them. I know that like when I was a kid, I would listen to my favorite comedians and I would just memorize what they would say in exactly the way that they would say it.
In just the same exact intonation.
Same intonation, same pacing, same everything.
I definitely know some John Mulaney bits like that.
Yeah. Dude, I know so many John Mulaney bits, Patton Oswalt bits. Emo Phillips is my favorite because he has the weirdest like intonation and prosody.
That's funny. Another one that I definitely listen to a lot of is Brian Regan, I think is his name. Yeah, that sounds right.
Sounds familiar.
It's got just like a couple of sketches that I just know for some reason.
But you're trying to get to that level where you can hear what they are saying and then repeat in the same way that they said it, what they said. You're trying to imitate them and their persona. And then eventually move on to being able to express yourself in that same persona. Though I would not say that I have ever actually reached that with a parent. So I think it might actually be a good time to go back and try that again.
I did find it useful when I was focused on one speaker. I've since sort of distanced because he's sort of very norteño and I sound a lot more chilango now. But it was very useful for getting that flow, those vibes, the more casual vocabulary and grammar actually was very useful from that. But I have the problem now that my chosen language parent in Czech that I'm probably going to use is just cooler than I am. And I don't know how to get around
sound like
that.
A problem.
But like, I can't be like cool. I don't know. He's just cooler than I am.
You're cool,
It's just
Ben.
true. Oh, thanks, Ethan.
You're cool to me.
Thanks, boss.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.